Definitely makes it more entertaining. I got people hating my guts in real life. That shit feels great.
IGL is like the most important role.
It's going to be harder for somebody that has bad aim and good game sense to go pro than somebody who has great aim but bad game sense.
Raw aim matters more than game sense in today's FPS esports. That strongly disagree? Say it again. Raw aim matters more than game sense in today's FPS sports. Disagree.
I would say, just speaking for COD, I feel like COD nowadays is made for everybody to shoot really well. So I feel like shooting is probably one of the easiest things. So I feel like game sits is definitely a little bit more of a harder thing to have nowadays. So I would say that raw aim is kind of not even a thing in COD.
I think we all know the pipeline of like new players having insane aim, and then they go like into like the pro space, and they're like, you know, they're not cut out for it. I feel like in nowadays, like with the new generation, I feel like if you only have aim, that's like not a redeeming quality to have anymore. Like people know you're dumb. You're like, you don't really get like the opportunities anymore. So yeah, raw aim is not really like a super insane characteristic to have nowadays over game sense and knowledge. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll say that like there's like top players for M&K at least, for like Kovacs and like aim labs and all that stuff. You can get like these insanely high scores. There's players that just do this shit all day. They just perma grind, but they don't get anywhere. They just get hard stuck immortal, and they just, I'm not gonna lie, they'll never be at like the top just because they have insane raw aim. Even if they work on it all day, you need to actually play the game.
I think they are right on all the thing, but there's also some who are very, very, very skilled individuals, and I think that they can also take it further than people with just a great brain. So I think it has something to say, but it's not all with raw aim.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with what he's saying. I feel like I disagree because obviously I think you need to have like a brain to actually be like a pro player, but I feel like talent can help you like be like an insane player too.
I'll say that both matter because if you have insane mechanics, it makes up for your lack of game sense, and vice versa. So if you have insane game sense, it like caters for the mechanics basically.
I think game sense and like positioning yourself well is really important. But in Valorant, I feel like there are players that just like have good mechanics, and it just bails them out of like them making a really dumb play. So I think I'm kind of neutral.
In my opinion, it's always more important to have like mechanics because game sense is to me like the easier part of like learning a game. With time, anyone could get good at game sense and stuff like that as long as you play the game. Mechanics is a little bit more like talent and stuff like that. So I feel like it's more important to have good mechanics if you want to go far because that aspect of the game that is game sense is easier to learn. So it's going to be harder for somebody that has like bad aim and good game sense to go pro than somebody who has great aim but bad game sense because he can learn and improve that pretty easily.
A great IGL is more valuable than the best mechanical player on a team. Your in-game leader.
Great IGL, just the best mechanical player on the team or in that game?
On the team.
Oh, shit. Yeah, okay, well then.
So would you rather have the best mechanical player on your team?
Listen, they're gonna hate on us, but we obviously have the greatest game sense out of literally every single person on that side of the map. Anyways, for at least our game specific, I don't know about COD and Valorant, but our game, or CS, but our game specific of IGO is like the most important role on the team. If you're insane mechanically, it doesn't really matter if no one could lead you into the end game. You can't, mechanics alone can't take you to end game, like at all. There's just so many teams, there's 20 teams on the map. Even if you're like mechanically out-diffing someone that you're fighting, you're just gonna get randomly shot in the back because if you have no game sense or no one to lead you to like a good spot, you're just gonna die. It's just how it goes in our game.
Well, as an IGL myself in the neutral category, I feel like in terms of Valorant, like an IGL is kind of dependent on the players he has and like the system around him. So having like an insane player can be more like malleable for like a system than like an IGL that has like his own specific like viewpoint on the game. So in terms of like Valorant, I think having like a more like an insane like wild card type of player does go a lot further than just a 2D type, just only an IGL.
Well, at least in CS, I think a mechanical player can contribute a lot to the team. I don't think it's that much better than having a really great IGL because, I mean, the IGL kind of brings the whole team together. I don't think every very good mechanical player can solo carry like an IGL can help the whole team. So I just disagree.
I strongly disagree because there are players who are just so mechanically good. And I'm assuming it's like one of the best. You know, if you have like a top 10 or a top 15 player in the world, in Valorant at least, they make internationals one way or another. Like I'll just say Aspas because he's like the easiest example. He just joins a team. No matter who he has, he's like making an international with them. And yeah, I think just having a player of like that quality versus IGLs, like Jordan said, they can make a good system and everything. But frankly, if you don't have the pieces to make, you know, the good system like work, it just won't matter in a game like Valorant where, you know, players like that can just take over and yeah.
I feel like COD, there's no really IGL. It's kind of like everyone in their moment really has to, you know, bring their own weight, say what they need to say. If you're just having like one person say, yo, everyone shut up, you're probably getting slammed somewhere. So yeah, I disagree.
Frequent balance patches make esports worse, not better. Frequent balance patches make esports worse, not better. Do you agree with that? You think they do make them worse, or do you disagree?
Yeah, I'll agree just because like I feel like some patches, they can easily like change the landscape of the esport really quickly and you don't even have enough time to adjust or even like figure it out. Obviously, when it's like planned around your like tournament or your league schedule, it makes it a lot easier. But when a patch comes out that just like redefines a tournament you have it in a week and it defines like again the whole year, it's like you're starting off the year not even playing the most broken character or whatever, and it just ruins it. But obviously from a casual perspective, it's pretty important and it should be like, you know, frequent updates. It's just like a small thing that, you know, every dev should consider because it's very difficult for a pro player to just, you know, on the fly learn a new, kind of a new game really, especially when you have a lot of things that you're just building in Valorant, like from the start, like you're building foundations and a lot of the things are defined by the characters you pick. So yeah.
Well, how frequent are we talking? Because we don't get updates. I mean, sometimes they just randomly put one out, but you never know. So how frequent are we talking?
We get one every like 2 months, and it's like small tweaks here and there, and then the map. We
say 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, 2 to 3 months. A map change, a corner remove,
Okay,
maybe.
then I'm switching to agree then, because I don't know, we don't really get updates, so it's just randomly. But yeah, I agree. When they come, they can really mess things up. They can. So I'm on agree.
I would say for COD at least, like sometimes we get patches really frequently and they ruin the game, they break the game. So I feel like for that, it does make it worse. But I think sometimes guns could be broken that are super prominent in the comp scene. And we do need those patched pretty quickly. And sometimes they do that. So that's why I'm neutral, because it doesn't make it worse at all times, but sometimes it can be good. So that's why I'm in the middle.
In my opinion, as a pro player, it's your job to like be able to adapt, and for a game to thrive and actually like be good in the casual sense, it needs to have update and be refreshed every time. So it's like even if updates can be hard to go around, it's just needed. So like you have to like be ready and be prepared to like keep improving and learning the new game. So
yeah, I think having regular updates just keeps the game like more fun and fresh. It just gives you like new things to work on, new things to think about, and it's just like, I think it's just more fun to shake up the meta every now and then rather than just practice the same thing for like years on end.
Trash talk makes esports more entertaining and should be encouraged. Trash talk makes esports more entertaining and should be encouraged. And I want the opinion of all the trash talkers on this one, all right? I want to start with Scrap.
Trash talk definitely makes it more entertaining. You know, I got people hating my guts in real life. That shit feels great. I just love getting under people's skin. The fans love it. I'd probably say the fans love it more than anyone. So it definitely makes it more entertaining. Should be encouraged. Yeah, fuck yeah. Who cares? Like, just say whatever. Like, cancel culture. Just get that shit the fuck out of there. Like, let's just say whatever. So yeah, no, I like trash talking.
Encourage is maybe a strong word, but I mean, I don't really care. I think trash talking makes it a bit more fun, a lot more fun actually. Like the games that I find the most fun watching are always the games where people are trash talking, and like especially their scene, like the whole thing is trash talking. So that's kind of fun.
I mean, I'm gonna agree with Ernie. I just want to agree because I think there is just things that you cannot say, and I feel like there is some people that they just go too far. So I agree. I think it should be in every sports. It just makes it better, you know. Just like have some fun with it. Have some fun with it.
Yeah, I'm neutral. I don't think it should be encouraged, but it definitely makes it more fun for the fans, but also for the players. Coming from the team with like the biggest trash talker in Valorant, Boostio, definitely made things a lot more fun. Gave us a lot more energy and confidence. So
I mean, I find it entertaining. I think it's really good, but I think it's also like it's driven by your personality. You can't enforce it. You can't like be someone else. It can sometimes like create a tension or a weird environment. Like I've tried that in teams where you try to force it, to force the energy up. But all the players I like to follow are the trash talkers, and even in traditional sports as well, it creates personality. But yeah, you can't like encourage it because it has to come from like to just being yourself.
Orgs expect too much from players outside of competition. So gaming orgs expect too much from players outside of competition. On real opinions.
We asked on day 2 of extreme content.
I know, right? Yeah.
I mean, it's my second day here, so who knows? I don't know. I'm talking about previous experiences, even in my old teams. Of course, we had to do a lot. But we're living the dream, and the organizations are the ones that are making it happen. So I've never tried it being too much, to be honest.
I think as well it's true. We have to get paid by something, and we have to do content and stuff. So I think we're living the dream. We are traveling a lot and playing video games every day. So yeah, we have to do something for it.
In my experience, pretty much every org I've been on really hasn't asked for a lot at all. Like they ask for like the absolute bare minimum outside of performing in tournaments. And I think I don't think players are going to get too mad if you start asking for a little bit like more content or like social stuff out of them, like social posts, stuff like that. Yeah, I think it'd be good for orgs as a whole to like kind of like require players to do a bit more for like content.
Me personally, I got a lot of strong opinions on content. If I'm gonna like take myself out of the moment, take myself out of my body, they don't ask for that much. It's not that much. Do I think some of it's bullshit? 100%. I think some of it's kind of just like lame sometimes. But no, I understand it. You got to do it, and it's really not that much.
Like outside of competition, you're not really like expected or like pushed to do much other than like content and all that. And I think it's like pretty nice to experience that. Like not really that much pressure. You got to support the org best as you can as especially like a new player, like in the new space. So I mean, only having to do media and like just promote the brand in a positive way it's not too bad.
I guess I'm on the neutral side because I agree with everything they said, but I'm thinking about like on a contract standpoint, a lot of the things that they include in these contracts, a lot of people don't necessarily read, and you know, people are doing this to like be like living a dream basically, so they don't really take into account on what's actually within that contract, so they could basically get used by the organization just for, you know, a little amount of money and sole gain for the organization itself and not really for them. So I'm just thinking about on that standpoint. Luckily, we don't have that at 100 Thieves, luckily, you know. But yeah, I'm just speaking like on other organizations in general. Like they use their players in ways that they really shouldn't, and you're all for them just trying to live a dream.
Sniping is harder than rifling in FPS games. Sniping is harder than rifling, and it's probably dependent on game by game. Sniping is harder than rifling in FPS games. Do you agree or disagree it's harder?
I'd say in the perspective of COD, I feel like sniping right now is pretty broken because we have aim assist. But I think when you look at like different other games like Apex, for example, like the Kraber, like a lot of people don't snipe. A lot of people don't even pick it up, even if they're on a controller with aim assist. So I feel like I'm just neutral because it just depends on the game.
I feel like it really depends on the game, but I feel like COD, like it's just right now is like broken. So I feel like it doesn't like take as much skill as other games for sure.
I mean, basically the same thing that most of them said. I disagree. It depends on the game, but like the games that I played, Valorant, Counter-Strike, is just so broken. It's not even funny. Like you don't have to be good to use the sniper. You can just you can crutch it and just be like already a good player just because you can use it. That's it.
As an opper myself in Valorant, the op is literally just all about positioning. Like there's no aim involved really. Like you aim for the body and then you shoot. That's it. It's like point and click. It's like there's no really skill involved. The only skill is positioning. That's like hard, but you have the same issue with the rifle. You have to position yourself well. So like the op is just an easier version of the rifle, and it's just much easier.
So mostly in the games that I play, CS or even PUBG sometimes, my free time. I mean, in CS2 at the start, it was impossible for oppers to play. The game had so much peeker's advantage, like you could just wide swing with a rifle and he would have no chance. Right now it's a little bit better for the oppers, so that's mostly why I agree. Like I still think it's like some oppers right now don't even enjoy opping that much, they just rifle around.
Yeah, from a CS standpoint only.
AWPing is harder than it's ever been. Yeah, maybe it was a little bit harder in the beginning. I think that the depth you'd have to do as an AWPer, you have to be able to play all positions. You have to micromanage your team. You have to be positioning yourself. You have to be like hitting your shots. And in CS with the biggest advantage, if you miss a shot, you're dead. And in CS as well, in like pro play, most of the teams use most of their util to like move the AWP around, so you don't get that many opportunities. But like in COD and other games, it's way easier. And in CS, if you play like Face It, people just run into your crosshair, it's easy. But yeah, in pro play, I think it's the hardest thing you can do.
I think sniping is harder than rifling because at least in sniping, there's like multiple things that you can do in sniping that you can lose focus. You look at all the statistics in Apex at least, all the guns that are rifling have better statistics than snipers. Like you barely see any sniper kills. There's barely any. So when we're talking about snipers specifically, there's literally no kills. So I feel like it's harder to use that gun and actually succeed with it and win something with it than it is with using a rifle. So that's why I'm on this side of the map.
Abilities and gameplay have gone too far and hurt competitive integrity. Abilities and gameplay have gone too far and hurt competitive integrity. This affects more so Apex and Valorant, but would love everyone's opinion. Well, I mean like visual spam, but also like ability, yeah.
It's like a weird word to use because it's like, I'm thinking like match fixing. I don't know how.
Well, no. More of like, you know, you have all these abilities and you can use it to kill someone over like the focus on gameplay. Yeah.
I disagree with that because you kind of need change. Well, at least I can speak for Valorant. Other games like don't have abilities, but in Valorant, like you release a new agent, you tweak other characters, and like you need to shake up the meta, and you do that by changing their abilities and stuff. I disagree for the fact mostly because, like not strongly, but disagree normally because like some abilities, like if you change it, can absolutely like destroy a meta or like make the game unplayable. But if you don't do that, if you don't even take the risk, the game becomes stale. So it's kind of something devs just need to keep into consideration. At least for pro play.
I think abilities just raise the skill gap quite a bit, especially in BR. I think it just adds like a lot more depth to the game, especially with the BR because without abilities, the game is like a lot more reliant on like zone RNG, like in positioning. Whereas like if you have something like a Valk ult or like a Newcastle wall, you can pretty much make something out of like any single zone. So like it just removes RNG from the game.
I just went neutral because I don't really know how a game would be without abilities, but it doesn't like make it any worse or better, and it kind of just defines the game. So it just needs to be in the place, and it's up to the dev themselves to make it balanced, make it good, and it's more of a testament to the dev than like the abilities and how the esports, or not how esports, how games have gone as time progressed, because obviously it's a lot more like, stimulating, I would say, but I think overall it's just definitely needed if you want to have a unique game and make something one of one, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with mostly what he said. It's just like, it is needed in a game like Valorant. Without the abilities, like there's no Valorant. We're just playing like a worse CS. I'm not gonna lie. For like the abilities, like some metas are just so stupid and so broken that it just makes the game unfun. So like you just have to have constant changes and nerfs and buffs to some abilities. But like I've played metas where like the abilities have completely ruined the game and made it like unplayable. So you just need to have like good balancing. That's really all it requires.
I think like some games definitely need it. Like for a game like Rainbow Six, I think if you took the abilities out, it'd probably be the most like dry game you could probably ever play. But on the other hand, like game like Val, like from an outside perspective watching, sometimes it just seems like just an absolute just bang out. Like there's no really strategy to it. It's just like throw all your shit at a site and just get on the site. And I just don't think that's really like competitive in my opinion. So yeah.
Should leagues have player salary caps?
I'm trying to get paid.
Hell no.
I've never been in a like capped salary on league, and I never heard about it. I don't think it's like good, but the NBA players are earning a lot of money. They have the capped salary. If the cake is bigger, everything can get a slice.
Bars.
Come over here.
I like that though. Disagree. I'm a disagree one. All the players are gonna love getting paid, so if we're all trying to get paid the most we can, obviously. But I think also like competitive standpoint, I think if there was salary cap, maybe just all leagues would maybe get like a bit more competitive because obviously you don't have like 4 of the best players in the league, obviously, on one team. So obviously I think it would be better, but as a player, we're trying to get paid. So
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. With Valorant right now, and I feel like a lot of the esports, really, is there anyone that's getting paid such a ridiculous amount that they need to have like caps in general? I don't think so. For most esports.
Yeah, I saw the COD leak, by the way. I saw the COD leak. So let's just say they're eating too good.
Maybe maybe I'm forgetting about the COD players. You guys might be eating good over there, but I mean, maybe.
Honestly, this is just a poor to rich scale right here.
I can't lie. Like, trust me, right now, Valorant does not need a cap. Just trust me.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it. That was great.